sampah sembarangan. Udah tahu sampah biang masalah, buang sampah pada tempatnya lah.
Iya ya, kalau bukan kita, siapa lagi? Ayo kita buat Jakarta jadi bersih.
De mensen die morgen teruggaan, hebben jullie die ticket nog die ik op de neerlijst heb meegegeven? Ja. Iedereen, maar als je niet hebt, laat me weten, dan mail ik een pdf straks naar jullie en dan. Kan je niet brengen? Nee, die heb ik niet uitschrijven. Dat is van de maar ja, en we leven
Everybody already have a break lunch?
Yes.
The lunch? Okay, please.
Thank you, Mr. Governor. Is it okay to call you Governor now?
Not yet.
Not yet. Vice Governor then. We are coming here because we want to learn many things about how to give shelter to people, how to begin building homes with a heart. We heard that you have made a policy that people are evicted but receiving a house, receiving new place to stay, and that's something that we don't know in the whole world. So these students with two professors are coming from TU Delft, and their specialty, they are master students for real estate, human settlement, and I thought when the Dutch are only assigning to build the giant seawall, I want to try to invite them to also help you with the squatters. Thank you. Trying to make a, yeah. Or do you want to introduce?
But please enjoy this Holland Bakery.
Yeah, they want to give a short presentation about who they are as a society, and I brought them to Muara Angke with a whole bus. It's actually closed, but we can arrange something. So they played football with the children of Muara Angke. So maybe a few of them will give an impression, short impression. Please go ahead.
Maybe it's a good idea to start a bit with explaining to introduce ourselves a bit, so you know a bit of our background. We understood that you already know Delft University very well, but okay, but perhaps you don't know our departments, which is called Real Estate and Housing, together also with Dr. Chen over there, and. Before I tell you a bit about our department, first of all, I would like to thank you very much for having us over. I mean, Indonesia has been very interesting the last week for us, but we also know it's quite a privilege to be invited here as a guest of you, Vice Governor, and your office. And well, if we hadn't known already, the people on the street reminded us, because we all said to some people like, "Hey, we're going over here to this office," and they all said like, "Really? Are you invited over there? Is that possible?" So, yeah. So we were impressed. To tell you a bit about our department and also the course that the students are running, I have to explain a little bit about our Faculty of Architecture, because it's based within this faculty. And we always think that our faculty is special, not only because we study there, but because it's quite broad in its disciplines that it offers, because it focuses not only on design of buildings or on design and construction of buildings, as most faculties of architecture do, particularly in an engineering environment, but we also include knowledge on policy, organizational issues, management, which is needed to bring all the parties together to make good changes in the built environment and of our students. So, and they even within that specialization there. Sorry? Yeah, we have some. We don't only have very talented. They know how the iPad works way better than we do. But yeah. Also, our real estate and housing department actually, although it's a specialization within architecture, it's quite broad. So they learn how to make changes at different scale levels, from individual dwellings to whole urban area developments. They learn various aspects of real estate. You need to have knowledge of law, of economics, business, etc. And they also learn about different functions of real estate. So for shopping, for living in, for working in. So actually what we often say is that we try to educate them and change them into, a sheep with 5 legs. Perhaps you have heard of that expression once. It's very Dutch, but it means that they have more than 4 legs, so very broadly specialized. But of course the legs are pretty short then, because you still only have 2 years for your master course. But we believe that these people can act as real linking pins, liaisons in the built environment. And we also think that that is what's necessary actually throughout the world, because the challenges in the built environment are becoming more and more complex. I mean, we've seen some complex issues over here, ranging from how to deal with the kampungs to the great Garuda development, very big, complex developments. And then you need some sheep with 2 very long legs, but also some sheep with 5 legs to link all those other disciplines together. And that's why we're also very interested in international cooperation, also from our department, more and more. We think that we have some things to offer for other countries, but actually it's also in our interest, because if you look at GDP developments, that's not happening in Europe anymore. So Europe, it's just, well, we hope it stays stable, more or less. But of course, and we feel that, of course, from the historical past, well, it would be logical if we could come to more cooperation, also in the knowledge exchange. So hopefully this is another step in that.
Yeah, first of all, Mr. Vice Governor, I would like to tell you that we are very grateful for the time you've given us today on behalf of BOS. BOS is the student organization that, amongst others, organized this study trip. What we try to do with BOS is add value for students during their years as a student. We get a lot of theory, as Mr. Gruijs just explained, but we try and also reflect a little bit more on practice. So what we try to do for students is create opportunities to visit companies, to visit projects, to visit people. And in that way create students that know more and that can reflect more critically on the knowledge they get from the university. And we do this in 3 different ways. We try and provide career opportunities, so that's mainly visiting companies. We try and improve education by reflecting with students on education, and also by reflecting the knowledge we've gained during our student time on practical situations. And finally, we try and work on relations, which means that we try and work on relations between students. So we organize drinks and have parties, which is of course the most fun part. But we also try and talk as much as we can to people in different positions and in different situations to get to know the market and to get to understand what it is that makes buildings and real estate go around every day. And particularly today, this has brought us in a very interesting position. It's not very often that we get to meet someone like you. And we hope we can learn many things from you today.
I think Miss Pauline little bit deceive you. Bring you learn from me. Actually, I'm not I don't know, learn from where, but the Jakarta problem is, people ask me like this, which one is easy to be a mayor, a regent in my former place as Bupati in East Belitung Island, very small island. There's many Dutch there because it's tin mining. Or in Jakarta, I said, it's easy to be a vice governor in Jakarta. They said, why? It's too naive. I said, no. Because Jakarta, there are many problems, many solutions. They already have studied from many top university. Everything you know. Transportation, everything. You talk, whatever the problem in Jakarta, we know the solution. But the problem is, you have a courage to execute or not. Because too many vested interests in Jakarta. Like now we still in a problem with the, how to say it, Oknum, how to say it? I don't know how to say it. Of army, part of the member of the army. We call it Oknum if you don't to blame the institution. They become a begging for the Vendor Street. They occupy our National Monument Park. And when we sense or we have a Pol PP itu apa ya? This is a no, Satpol PP is a agency of order. Is the agencies like a security, so local security to clean them out. They report us to the police and detain our member. How come? But just today they are finished. Now how to solve the problem? It's very easy, I said, in Jakarta. Just come to the media. I warn them, if you still do it in my National Monument Park, I will equip my member with the gun. Just let it fire each other in front of the palace. So everybody will know what happened in this National Monument. How come this 82-hectare National Monument occupied by 1,000 Vendor Street? They throw the garbage. It's like everything out of order. But it's come to me, the police. He said, okay, we will solve the problem. That's the way. Sometimes people accuse me too arrogant and too, how to say it? Too croft too. Like that. I said, Jakarta is very easy to solve the Jakarta problem, like a housing problem. You know, more than 40 years, when the Dutch left this country, we have a 13-man river in Jakarta, and more than 600 micro system to connect this 13-man river. And the Dutch government, the time, they developed left and right the inspection road, 7.5 until 10 meter wide. So you could imagine it's main river, another micro river, they have an inspection road. Now what happened? All the inspection road occupied by the illegal housing. Not by the poor people, by the powerful with the question mark people, and they ran to the poor people. They took the money. And more, how to say, it's more crazy. The electricity company supplied electricity to this illegal housing. We thought the security. That's why in Jakarta, 1 year's almost 6,000 fire accident. In Jakarta, because too many slum housing could not meet the requirement of the security. Just to give them the electricity. And water, fresh water. The leakage of this fresh water, 44%. Why? Stolen. All is stolen, illegal. This Jakarta, everybody knows what happened. But the problem is too many vested interests to solve this problem. So we start, this is what we call is the human. How to say? We don't just let them out. We won't demolish all the slum area. We provide for them low-cost apartment, only $50 a day. You just pay $50 a day, US dollar a day. You could stay at that house. Now what happened? This is also very human. We found out a 67 years old man live in the riverbank. So we make the resettlement, move them to this low-cost apartment. And he sold this apartment, 45 million, the right for to stay. And so we asked him, why did you sell this? And he answered very human answer. Since I was born until 67 years old, I was poor, no money. Now you give me a house to stay, I have to pay $50. And because the middle class, we are a deficit in housing. They will give me 45 million rupiah, yeah 4,500 US dollar. Now I prefer took the money, I back to the riverbank. For me, no matter. Now I have money and I could develop my own house, maybe just spend 1,000 US dollar. 500 US dollar for maybe selling for the cell phone purse. Maybe I could marry it again. A lot of money. Now what happened? This problem really make apa itu bilangnya? The moral of our government official decreased. Why? Then the government official think like this. Why it's very easy to get the money. So why I have to give the house to you if you will sell it? So they make a rule, if you want to get the right to stay in this house, give me money. They sell it. Now what happened? All the low-cost apartment occupied by the middle class. And this come another problem too, like Kalibata. You should come to Kalibata. Kalibata is a huge, how to say it, it's special housing. The government give an incentive, very low cost apartment. One apartment only 15,000 US dollar. The market price is 40,000. And no parking, not enough car parking because this is near the train station. The planning is this low cost apartment sell to the middle class, lower. They could use the public train. No parking area. But what happened? They sell it. Many people use a 100 name to buy this, and when accomplished, they sell it. Get 10,000 US dollar, one unit. And who bought this? All has the car. And now the problem, they could not park car in the apartment. They park on the street. Make a traffic jam. So I asked my traffic warden, you find them, bring all the car. Oh, they make a protest to me. Where we have to park our car? Because your apartment is not enough parking area. I easy to answer them. The problem is not your car. The problem is you don't have the right to purchase this apartment. You have middle class up. So this is the way to answer them. There is sometimes here is you have to very quick to answer. Never think first. If you think you could not answer them. Too many questions. You have to answer them very fast. Now, so we make another rule now to solve this problem. I asked our bank to give them. This is identity is the ATM, automatic teller machine. This is the e-money. I want everybody stay in the low-cost apartment, have to put the identity. Why I use the bank for identity? Bank, if is more accurate their data, because banking around the world you have a connection. So I asked our bank to put this, so each person have this identity. So I will debit automatically, daily debit from their bank account. And I asked my kependudukan
For the human settlement.
This is the identity card department to change their address. Whoever live in the low-cost apartment, they have to use the same address. They make an agreement. But until today, almost 2 years I'm here, they're not accomplished. Why? They don't want. Because too many bureaucrats want to corrupt like this. So I threat them, I will file you. But they're still very happy, we still have a time. Because Pak Jokowi more polite than me, the governor. So I asked them, when Pak Jokowi be a president and I already be a governor, I will fire all of you. I don't care. When people ask me, so how to solve many problems, like a Vendor Street. We have a law, or local law is, I think it's not realistic. They said like this, the Vendor Street could not sell or buying in the park and on the pedestrian. This is our law. But the fact is, everybody sell in the park and the pedestrian. You know why? This Vendor Street, they need near the market. I said, this law is not good. I have to change this law. Now, how about the park? We develop many active park, spot, and we put a place for the Vendor Street. But I also give them the identity from the bank. So they have to pay $50, not $50, but 4,000 rupiah daily. And they have to clean the area. Waduk Pluit is the first model. The Vendor Street occupy the road. So I asked them, get in. You get in, if you get out again, I will ask you out forever. And that's why some people said I'm too arrogant, too cruel. Yeah, they accused me like a colonial. Because I asked my security guard, you bring a gun, shoot them. If they cut, there's a pagar itu apa ya?
It's the fence.
A fence in the National Monument, they cut it. They get in there. I said, if they cut it, they use a knife, they threat our security. I said, don't use a knife fighting each other. If she's skilled in martial arts, kung fu is better, you had been killed. But if you better, you kill him. It's a problem. It's better you shoot them. Use electricity gun. Shoot, get fan. It's better. They accused me like a colonial. I said, not a colonial. I just want to be a better. Now Waduk Pluit is better. You could not increase anymore. Like National Monument, we have prepared the place for a better place for sailing for almost 400 Vendor Street. But they keep increase until 1,000. How about the 600? I don't care, I said. I don't care. How about if they could not live? If you could not live, I will provide you 3 times for meal. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You know why I have a courage to offer them like this? We as a Muslim country, we have a Ramadan, fasting month. You look at the mosque like Istiqlal and this Sunda Kelapa. I visit the Sunda Kelapa, fasting together with them, open together. Not more than 1,000 people to attend this free dinner. Why? And most of them is a taxi driver of professional. So where the pengemis tu? The beggars where? No. Here's the beggars not for food. They want to develop a house in their kampung, in their village. I said, I will provide for you. If your kids want to go to study, I will provide them like this also, ATM, to pay the school fee. We will guarantee you. 3 trillion or 4 trillion, I will provide them. That's why they don't want this. All they want is a business. Beggar is a very... We catch one beggar. We found in his pocket the money, almost $3,000 US.
One day.
That's why we provide them a meal they don't want. That's the strategy. So I said I will provide them a vendor street for selling like a pedestrian, but you have to give the space for the street walker to walk. And like our park, I will provide for you. And most of them don't have a Jakarta identity card. How about if they have a culinary, have a good food, I will give them the identity card. Like this morning, many media asked me, how about the urbanization? I told them, the theory of the economy, urbanization will increase our economy. But what happened in Jakarta, not increase but decrease our economy? Because this is distortion, the economy. There are many taxes to talk the money. So most of the vendor street, this tax got the money. This still poor. That's why now we want to help them. The vendor street, illegal housing, we make a great, very big resettlement. Like Marunda, more than 2,000 family. We make a big resettlement. You have visited Marunda? Yeah, Marunda. Right? Yeah. We provide for them fully furnished. TV. You know why you need TV? So they don't have many children. You have TV. They could watch TV. That's the Indonesian way. Yeah, if no TV, just make a children. The problem. So you need a TV, have entertainment, TV. You give them a freezer. People protest to me, why you give them freezer? I said the poor people need freezer. Because if they don't have a freezer, they have to go to the market every day. Then have a transportation cost. That's why they need a freezer, small freezer. And we give them a dining table, so we want to change their habit, how to eat clean. We also give them a spring bed. Yeah, you know why we could not use a cotton bed? Because kapok bed you could not bring to the sun. You have to heat. There are many dust. You could not do that. You need is a spring bed. We give them everything, so they move. 2 people sell the TV. Yeah, we know. It's okay. This is a learning process. And how about the transportation? In 2016, we hope all the transportation in Jakarta, they could not stop as they want again, because we want to pay them 1 kilometer how much. So all the bus in Jakarta, they will keep moving because we pay them according to the distance they walk, not according to the passenger. And we want to introduce one single ticket. This August, if you want to use our Transjakarta or busway, you need to use this e-money. No cash anymore. If you don't want, if you don't use our bus. Next year, we just prepare our bus company. So next year, we hope we will accomplish. Now in the first corridor, from Block M to Kota, it's 1 and 4 minutes, one bus. The headway is already 1 and 4 minutes. We still under construction our MRT. Maybe we'll operate 2018. We also put the burden to us. We want to be the host of the Asian Games in 2018. So we need to develop a light rail transit. We also want to develop a 6th toll road again. the outer ring road already connected, but we need the inside connecting this city toll road. So if we want to pay, we also want to apply our electronic road pricing. We also want to ban the motorcycle in the city. We also provide each road with the ERP. We provide a free ERP, electronic road pricing. Yeah.
Ban the motorcycle
from the road with the ERP in the city. So to stop the traffic jam. So they have to park the motorcycle in the outside, very cheap, maybe only $50 a day. But I will provide them a free starter bus. Now I in order almost 100 bus from the private sector advertising, and we want to purchase this double-decker bus to go around this city, like an Australian, blue cat, yellow cat, red cat. It's 10 minutes. Yeah, it's
park and ride.
Yeah, motorcycle. We just put the onboard unit in the car. ERP. You know, Jakarta people like to pen their plate number, car, then rear number, because the car really changes. And this is not the problem. Another, we could find another problem is because the law gives the authority to the police, traffic police, not us. We want to have a good connection. That's why no wonder Pak Jokowi want to be a president, because the police is under authorized the president. The president. 13 river is authorized by the central government. There are many things. But now, if Pak Jokowi will in the office, he will delegate to this province. This is the special capital. I think this is the problem and the way we want, like flood. We already know the threat is come from the south. The mountain is from the south. The sea is on the north. That's why the north, we live under the sea level. 3 meter, 4 meter. That's why we make many lakes to pump. This also the Dutch government give an idea. So for us, the important is in the north side, this lake have to empty. When the water come, they could pump. If when the high season, they could use a pumping. But when the low season, they just open the door. But the problem is many river, not only the inspection road, even the river bank occupied by the illegal housing. Like the Ciliwung, more than 100,000. But maybe half of them is a rent housing. So we want to push them back to the kampung if they could not purchase the house. If you have an identity card, we will provide you a low-cost apartment. That's why now we develop a low-cost apartment. We also want to, we have a 2,000 elementary school building. We want to make them become a one place. So we could take the land to develop a low-cost apartment, integrated low-cost apartment with the fresh market on the first and second floor. So the vendor street could move in and they could give a captive market. And we hope, and we also want to make a one-stop service in all our office. This year we try. So if you want to do everything, you just come to our office, our sub-district and district office. They will serve you like a bank. Everything is customer service, we will help you. So if we could do this, we could know which office we have to close. When we close, we want to turn to be a low-cost apartment, integrated low-cost apartment. That's what we want to do. Now, if you're asking what the requirement we need to be a governor or vice governor in Jakarta, I said very easy. First, no accept bribery. It's very important because too many vested interests here, especially the property company. They have many problems. So we ask them, you have to pay. We don't care. Never accept, no accept bribery. The second is, no partiality. What you mean is we just stick on the constitution, not the constituent. We don't care what the party or our team for asking many things. If you're not according to the law, we said no. And maybe the third is not everybody like to hear this. Never afraid to die. Even they threat you. They threat you. They come to attack you, like at Tanah Abang. The police want to evacuate me. I said no. No evacuation. We face them. That we die together. If you want to attack us, I will prepare a gun, everything, to face you. You just come. I don't care. Because I am on constitution. We want to make this city become more like another city. I said, if you want to live, hidup nyaman, comfortable live, you have, you have to live in order. You have to live in order, you have to do a law enforcement. Law enforcement, sometimes that means we bring a gun. That's what we do now in Jakarta. I already been here 22 months. Yeah, 22 months in office. I still left 38 months. I could extend one term if people want vote for me again, 2017. But if they don't want to vote, I don't care. For me, it's nothing to lose. But when I'm in office, I will do the right thing. That's why I always challenge the government official. If you said you are clean, no corruption, you could prove how much you worth, your living cost, and the tax you pay. If you could not synchronize this, that means you are corrupt. Now that's very important. We also put a no cash transaction in Jakarta now. Everybody have to put a bank account. I already asked even our how to say is our itu pegawai lepas itu apa to say is our outsourcing employee. The first time they always said they said 10,000 people work for us. I said where are the people? They could not approve, but they keep pay the salary. Now I said no, all the salary you have to use a non-cash transfer to their account. Until today, almost 2 years, there are still many departments could not do this. They don't want. But when I treat them, I will fire them. Now they do it. There's sometimes, it's like a braving, it's like treat them. I really don't like the job like this. But we don't have any choice. This is the way to manage the city.
It's like a mafia boss.
Yeah, like narcotics, like a narcotics.
Yeah.
We have a big discotheque, entertainment, 18 years, untouchable. So I talked to the police, 3-star, he spot me. I treat them, send them a letter. If 2 times I found out your customer used a narcotic in your entertainment, I will close. They think we don't have a courage to cross them because 18 years untouchable. First time, I won 1 time. You left 1 time. You do it again, we cross. People shocked. People said, it's very dangerous. Maybe the mafia will kill you. We said, no, you have to cross. Now everybody afraid because the big one you already crossed. And the same with like Tanah Abang, the same. That's what we want to do now. We want to fire the bureaucrat, this civil servant. We want to fire them. They make many bribing. We found use with the KPK in the car apa tuh, kir mobil itu, how to say it?
For the
Kir is a Holland kir. You can imagine 1 car, if you want to check the equipment, need half until 2 hours. The one office could serve 700 car. How come? Just the document. And the real cost is $8, but the people have to pay $40, and all the money they share together. And we fund them. And this practice, more than 30 years, 40 years, they did the same. But we have to close. But don't afraid about our food. No poison, you just eat it. we bought it. This is like make a joke. But I still healthy, 22 months here. Yeah, for me, thanks God, still healthy, still alive. 22 months, we don't know what happened. And the next month, we don't know what happened. Just I like to make a joke with my friend. So what happened if you get been murdered? I said, if not happen murder, I will be your next president one day.
Yes.
I told them like that. This is the closing of this talking. Thank you very much.
Just, in fact, this morning I received their message. Pauline, they're quite worried about the possibility. They heard about the demonstration today, and I answered them, it's more difficult to find one day without demonstration against Ahok. And so just don't worry, keep coming. So, how did you stop
if
the...
If they just want to demonstration, the thing is, yeah, they're right to make a demonstration. But if they do as anarchists, they get in, use a gun, use a knife or sword, we will attack them. If we just want to screaming, talk everything, just talk. I could hear from my window. I could look at them. It's okay. But if you attack us, we will not defend, we will attack back. As we said, this is a capital city. This is a national capital city. You could do anything out of order. That's very important. Like this past week, many slum area we have to train yourself every morning, minimum half hour, to make your body strength. Yeah, that's where I can make a job. You have to learn how to shoot very well. One bullet, one head. You have to learn. You have to learn shoot very well. Just make a job like that, please.
Thank you for your story. You mentioned that you will take care of the lower income groups. How are you going to provide education for these poor people, and where do these resources come from? Such as building, teachers, money?
Okay. We have many buildings. We already have many teachers. We pay our teachers very good salary. We spend 7 trillion a year for paying 30,000 teachers. So most of them above $1,000 US monthly. Big enough for Indonesia, because our minimum salary only $200. We pay them more than 1,000, 1,200. But the quality of them, the problem. Another problem is we already have a data. 40% of the students, the children, not children, teenagers, 16 and 18 years old, drop out from school. You know what happened? Now we have just we learn after this 1 and 2 years, we provide them this ATM card. We provide them $28 monthly to pay, and we provide the money to the poor school. This is a private sector school. And now what happened? After these 2 years, we make an evaluation. We found out like this. The poor people, they don't have good food. They don't have money to take a special extra course, go to the school. So when our government school, with a good quality, cheap, no need to pay, we open, they failed to enter this school. They could not compete with another, the medium class student. That's why the poor student, where they go to school, they go to the poor school to school there, study there. And this poor school foundation don't have enough money. So we provide the money to give the free for the poor student. But the fact they don't give them. They took the money for another operation for the, now we change, we stop this. So we will provide the money to the student. Now one student, we talk like when the poor student, they need $40 to pay monthly school tuition fee. They need $1 for transportation. You could imagine if one family have 3 kids or 2 kids with the minimum payment only $200, they could not pay the student. That's why we want to provide them. But when we provide them an ATM, they will draw the cash. That's why I want to change. I want to put the electronic debit cash. So they could not draw the cash, they just debit. They just could draw the cash for their transportation. But for transportation, we also use debit. They have to use our bus. That's what our planning in next year. The question is, where we get the money for this budget? Jakarta is a huge money. When I get in this office, our budget only 41 trillion rupiah. 41. You know this year how much? 72.9 trillion rupiah. Our target, Jakarta will reach 120 trillion. From where? From the cash online for tax. Restaurant, hotel, like tempat hiburan itu apa? Entertainment, amusement center, they have to pay. We have make a calculation, use the Asian Development Bank help us. They just pay not more than 40%. The real is 20%. 80%, they trick us, don't pay. They're cheating. That's why I treat them. If you don't pay, after I put the online, I will fine you for 10 years back. And like another housing, Jakarta has 1,200 house from the Dutch colonial era, give to this government, Menteng, Kebayoran Baru. They rent to the people, they never put in certificates, crazy. Most of them still stolen. I want to save this. 1,200 house, if I value the money, is more than 40 trillion rupiah. It's crazy, Jakarta. There are many land. They occupy, they do many things. Like a vendor street. All the vendor street never pay a tax. But they pay for the tax more than $6 a day. I just fold them 4,000. I will protect you. I become the new mafia, I told them. I become the new mafia. I become the new mafia. I become the godfather, the new godfather. I will protect you. But I am the official godfather. A real official. I use a uniform, official godfather. I could use the gun. This is authorized, I use the gun. They could not. So the money is not a problem in Jakarta. And talking about the property, all the property in Jakarta is very under value if compared to Malaysia, Singapore, and Vietnam. This is always under value. So we want to help the people. How to solve the problem? The first is we have to have a health security insurance. Now, how to manage this? The important for the poor people or for the middle class, they don't become a bankrupt because they get sick. We call it in Indonesia, it's like a sadikin, sakit jadi miskin. You sick become poor. This is a joke like this. So we provide them, not use identity. I don't want to say how much the poverty line. This is also the problem with us. The central government put the poverty line, use 2,500 karori a day. If you convert to the rupiah, Indonesian money, 347,000 rupiah. Yeah, more or less 34 US dollar. So that's the poverty line, 34 US dollar. Even your kids could not go to the school. The tuition fee $40. How come you put the 34 US dollar as the poverty line? That's the politics. That's why our poor people They said keep decrease. Who said? You use this poverty line. And World Bank used the $2 US dollar as the poverty line. You know how much money one family need? Our minimum salary is $200. $2 mean only $60 a month, your poverty line. That means this is not correct. So I asked the Statistic Bureau, I want another standard for poverty line. They said, our country use a Karori. The World Bank use the $2. No, I want the Jakarta style. What the poverty line? The minimum salary. Minimum salary is used a survey. We found out the basic needs for the one people in Jakarta, 2.4 million. $200. That means if have a family, it's not enough. So if I use this as a poverty line, I believe more than 50% population in Jakarta live under poverty line. That's crazy. That's why I provide them the free health security, but you have to go to our local clinic, Puskesmas. This is how to say Puskesmas is the masyarakat apa ya? This is the public health care. If you rich, you don't want to go there. You find another doctor. How to know distinguish the poor and the rich? Very easy, I told them. If the rich, they want the doctor by name. But if the poor, they just look at you, use the tie and the white shirt, they will call you doctor. They don't care who you are. Yeah, that's different. Another, our hospital, if you get Opnam, the third class, one room, 10 bed, one bathroom. If you rich, you don't want to get to this room. This is the way I make them. The first, before I get in this office, you know why the health problem become many people suffering and die in their house? They just give them a cut. If you're poor, they give you a cut. That's why many people sell the cut. The poor people could not get to the hospital. This money. If you have a heart attack, if you use operation, 15,000 US dollar. So the middle class is better purchase the cut. Yeah. To use the cut the government pay. But the real poor people could not get in. So I changed. I don't care the cut. If you have an identity card, if you want to go to the local clinic and want to go to the third class room, please go. That means you need the money. You don't have enough money. I did this since, I've done this since I was a mayor in Belitung Timur. 2006, I applied this method to differentiate the poor and the rich, the middle class, not according to the cut, but according to this is human needs. Comfort class. Yeah, the people. This is talking about, this is human. You rich, you don't want to go to the third class. That's the way we solve the problem. Now our problem is our bureaucrat is too slow to follow our idea. Too slow. Like a road. I asked them, you have to develop many flyover and underpass for the cross section between the train, because we want to increase the train each minute one train. But if each minute one train, there become a many traffic jam. That's why I need to develop underpass and flyover. They do nothing. Plan, anything. Like hall, road. I said we could make Jakarta zero hall in 2 years. We have money. They could not do this. Too many tricky one to make a corruption, many things. So I want them until the end of this year. If you could not accomplish, I will fire you. I make you as a functional. That's why most of them not really happy to me. I know, I look at their face, second, and now look at their face. Yeah, but I'm sorry. I took an oath to be a government official. When I was a businessman, never took an oath. That's the difference. Now I took an oath. When I was a businessman, no, never took an oath. This is different. That's my story. And then when I get out from this office, I ruin my name. I don't want. For me, the good name is better. Then I told them, sorry about that. But I am very lucky, I still got more than 60% public servant here is okay. 60% is okay. So my driver, my security, my housekeeper, my security guard in my house, and the people who provide the food for me, all is the public servant. And until today, I still not get poisoned yet. That means okay. So I don't worry about that. That's the way we solve. And we also increase the tax for the housing. The luxury house, like I stay in the northern side. You visit the Angke, very poor slum area, but not a very luxury house.
We visit Green Bay as well.
Oh, Green Bay, yeah. I knew. My house could look at the Green Bay. Every morning I could look at the Green Bay. I stay in the north side, Jakarta. The tax, only 4 million rupiah, 400 US dollar per meter square. The tax, not pay the tax, I mean the tax standard. They just use the price of the land, they assume only 4 million rupiah, $400. But the market price already 2,000, 3,000 US dollar. So I increased the tax, the standard for calculating the tax, used near the market price. That's why we got a lot of money. But many people blame me about this, including my grandma friend. He just talked to my mom, go to my house. You son, increase the tax, Oh, he said like this. This is the grandma. So my mom asked her back. So where do you live? I live in mana? Your place apa? Serpong. He said. Ridiculous. Serpong is not my area. Serpong is another province, Even another province increase the tax. They accuse me increase the tax. That's the bad thing I have to bear about this situation. But I'm very happy. I'm more healthy now than before. Yeah,
Maybe
I'm
very explanation. Just like the WOZ waarde is almost the same with the market, but here is way down the market. So they just pay a very tiny price of the value of the tax.
But this is for many years. That's why when you increase, people don't happy. I just asked them, if you could not pay the tax, you sell the house. Your house already increased. You change to the small one. But if you revolutionary heroes descendant, I will give a tax discount, 25 and 75%. I think it's fair. But for one house, most of the government officials have more than one house.
Subsidization of gasoline.
Oh yeah. That's another story. Because, I could not against the central government to provide the subsidized gasoline. But I already found out the way. All the gas stations, they need a permit from me. So I have a trick. I will say to them, if you want to get permit from me, you could not sell a subsidy gasoline in my area. But next year, I have to provide my free shuttle bus first. And all the bus, I want to use one single ticket first. My dream is you just pay $30 until $40 monthly. You could use any mass transportation in Jakarta free of charge. Maybe $3 US. That's in my calculation. So I will put a PSO, public service obligation, to this bus company, and I develop my own bus company. So even I will provide 3 trillion, or 2 or 3 trillion a year, to make the people, to put the ERP, to make the transportation become better in Jakarta. I believe if they have got the money, they will purchase the food, everything. I get a 10% tax from them to bake. This is a government, not a private sector. So we could get the money back from, they go to entertainment. Every one family, you have the ticket, for monthly ticket for the bus, one family, you could free entry or amusement park Ancol. Free. Maybe go to the National Monument, go to the zoo, free, if one family. If one family pay this. And we still in the planning, you know, our TOD, Transit-Oriented Development, many train stations, we give them, could increase very tall until the coefficient is 14 like Singapore. Before it's only 10. So I will ask the building to provide the very cheap parking area. So if you have a ticket, monthly ticket, you could park your car only $1 a whole day to be park and ride. So in my dream is I want to have many park and ride in the center of the city. Most of the country park and ride is suburb area, but Jakarta is difficult. This is a habit of the people. They like to drive the car, but when they get in traffic jam, they dream, oh, if I could park the car cheap, I will leave my car and I use the transportation. Now that's the dream. But how to purchase the land? I bargaining with the property company. I give you, could make a taller, but give me maybe 2-story. Give to me. 2 floor give to me for the parking, cheap parking. And you could manage the parking. Now that's what our deal. So we could have, if this happen, so we have many park and ride in the center of the city, near radius 350 meters from the station. This is the TOD. That's what we plan in Jakarta. I don't know, we could accomplish in 2017, but I believe all is under construction, on the progress until 2017. Whoever replaced me, he could not stop again. But if I could elect it again, I believe could accomplish this. Jakarta will be I think it's the most comfortable place to stay. This year we also put many CCTV on the traffic light. Not traffic light, lampu jalan.
Oh, the
PJU.
Street lights.
Now, how to develop this? Not use all money. This is the way to find a lot of money. The provider of the cell phone, they want put the 4G technology. They need develop many micro cell. They need many place. I give them the permit, but you have to provide me a light, free. You have to pay. You have to pay the light for me, because you need the electricity, and also you provide me a CCTV, high resolution. They already agree 4,000 CCTV in the city. So I will help the police. I could control. I also just want to purchase a 250 trial Enduro motorcycle for the special troop of the army. It's a sniper. I want to provide a 250 motorcycle. You put 50 in a 5 area. So what happened if a robbing happened, a gun shooting, you could arrive to the place very fast. That's we plan like this. So we change. Like I want to develop an inspection road, and we want to develop it from Holland. Give to us. They call it NCICD, National Capital Integrated Coastal Defense. This is A, not a burung. There's a bird, Garuda. This is A. This is existing coastal land. There are more than, I think more than almost 20 trillion to develop this. How we got the money? I give the permit to the reclamation island. We have 17 islands. They want to make a reclamation island in the northern side of Jakarta. I put them, this become your kewajiban your duty. Your duty to help me develop this NCICD A. If you don't want, I will do it by myself, this reclamation island. I could sell it. You just use a 500 capital, your equity, to develop a 1 meter square. You sell it 30 million rupiah, 3,000 US dollar. So you get a lot of money. You get a lot of money, you have to help me to develop this. That's why I told you the first time, no except bribery. This is a Chinese, the old Chinese saying. What kind of the government official, you're never afraid. Never fear about what kind of government official. But you have to start to fear when the government official don't accept your bribe. That's very easy for me. So I changed. No except bribery. So they fear me. If you want, this is a deal. You help me to make the inspection road, to NCICD, to make a lake, I give you permit. So we changed. And I also ask you 5% of your resale, sellable land, yang bisa jual, the commercial land, I ask 5% for the province. So I got the land free. You could make reclamation, I ask for 5%. They said, it's too big. Rotterdam is more crazy than me. Rotterdam asked 70%. I learned from Rotterdam. I told them, I learned from Rotterdam, 70%. So if you don't want, I will take it and I will do it by myself. I have a company. But most of them say yes. So I give them 1 year's permit. If they trick me, I still have a time before 2017. So next year, if they don't do it, but 3 of them already do it. They develop an inspection road, like a Green Bay. They won't develop a flyover directly to the toll. More than 100 billion. I asked them, you have to do this. Before, many property project, the infrastructure developed by the government. I said, no, you have to be responsible for this. So we changed. So we get a lot of money. Like this year, we will raise many money because most of them could not use the money. I checked them. If you could not give me the price, you could not use the money. You could not use a lump sum. That's why many of them could not use the money. I don't care. They said, you'll be shameful. They still have many, sisa uang, the rest of the money. I said, I don't care. The important for me is I could save the money from the corruption. I could use this money for next year. So money is not a problem in Jakarta. The problem is we just need, don't feel afraid to die. Too many vested interests. Oh yeah, this is the true story. That's why I purchased a little bit, the insurance, I pay. I pay a little.
Thank you for your story. I also wanted to ask you something because we went to Muara Angke with Pauline and we just went to Witteveen and Bos to see the Great Garuda project. And when we were there, I also asked them the same because the project is saving Jakarta from the water issues they have. But to create the Great Garuda project, the kampungs at the waterside have to be removed, and you just told us, okay, those are illegal and those are from the mafia, so we can clean them out. But when we went to the kampung, we saw also another side of the kampung. We played football with the kids, we saw mothers with kids. From the desk side, you might say it's illegal, but from the human side, you might say you clear a lot of people and children out of their homes. Does Jakarta have a long-term plan to resolve these issues, because they otherwise, when you clear it out, will replace back into the city?
Talking about the Garuda project, I don't know it could happen in these 10 years. You know why? You know why? Because the 17 island, we need 25 years to accomplish all the building. Reclamation only 3 and 3 years is okay. But when you develop one island, 500 hectares, 17 island. Talking about the economic, if we want to reclamation outside that, more than 20 meter depth seawater, the cost is more expensive than this only 1-2 meter. So if the island price still have many land, how much you want to sell the new island, the Garuda? That's why we prefer to develop this. We call it the NCICD B type. That's why we want to develop the A type first, NCICD. That's the first. But many businessmen want to develop that. I don't think they could do this, because this is a PPP, public partner, public partner, public-private partnership. I think it's not a good idea. But this a dream. It's okay. For us, it's okay. But for me, the reality is I have to save this first. The first step first. This 17 island first. Because you could not sell. How much you want to sell the land? You have to sell more expensive than this 17. And this 17 still have a land. So if nobody want to purchase your land, no private sector want to develop this. Many, and also the gas supply. But the idea is very good. I like this idea as the bird, everything, the 1,000 island. But I think in these 10 years, we could not do this.
But even if you stick to the current reclamation, you still have to make the dike stronger, the wall against the water, and that will also have an impact on the kampung, probably.
Yeah, the fishermen kampung will have a problem. If you close that, you know, in Muara Baru, each day almost 5,000 and 6,000 fishermen bring their fish to this industry, Muara Baru. So if you close this, how about the ship want to go? If you just get open and close, open and close, how about the cost for one fisherman to get in? That's why you have to move this fisherman industrial area to this Marunda. Or you have to move them for in front. But if you move in front, they have another problem. If you want to use in front the 17, how about if they make this not the sea become a lake? That's a problem. You have to move them out. Now, when you will accomplish the island for us? That's why I prefer like this. So the Muara Angke, the same. We provide them a canal. We provide them. So for me, the more reality is in this situation. The fishermen kampung Muara Angke, we provide for them a canal, a temp, low-cost apartment. They could look to their ship. This more rational. But if we're talking about this, how about this? I think maybe 20 or 30 years. I don't know, still live or not. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. Sebentar. Because kayak begini. Sorry, we have another little bit problem in national parliament. That's why to meet the army commander. Yeah, okay. One question more.
We have been to quite a lot of companies and also visiting the different area. There was one impression I have also with the groups is private developer play a quite big role in the developing what kind of functions. In BSD, they want to develop a new CBD. We are sitting in a hotel next to the old CBD, which from city, and the new Garuda also want to develop a CBD. So I want to ask about the vision of Jakarta. So how do government, what kind of vision does government have for how to position the functions, like the central business area, like the infrastructure? Does government have an effective role in playing this, in making this function realize?
I think for us, for the businessmen, is the first is we have to responsible for infrastructure. You know, in Jakarta, only 3% covers for wastewater management. So 97% no wastewater management. That's why our 13 main river could not use as resources as for fresh water. This is the first. You could not ask the private sector to do this. We also help them the very easy permit for the businessmen. That's why we guarantee them no bribing. You have everything problem, you just come to me. I become your bureau to help you. That's very important. But little bit for the businessmen, they always say like this, you only in office 5 years, extend 10 years. So if you're not in office, how come? If I'm not in office, I will be president to help you. I told them like this. They're still afraid. They don't believe after us, we still have the same system. That's why now we develop the same system. I increase the salary, use the system for the public servant, so the private sector could get in. We already have a new law for bureaucrat. We could recruit the private sector to be a bureaucrat, but we just need the permission from the president. I met this law when I was in the national parliament. I was in the national parliament 2.5 years in the commission second to prepare this bureaucrat law. That's why we believe if you have to develop infrastructure, the mass transportation, that's why we want to develop a light rail transit to join with this property, because we could help them to solve this many problems. Our vision is that Jakarta, we believe, will be a population more than 30 million. You become 30 million. That's why we need water. We also want to develop a 2 power plant, gas power plant in the northern and the Thousand Island. I use our province company to develop this because this is a pipeline gas from Natuna. We need this. We could not use the nuclear. We are a little afraid, but we use the gas. So our planning to develop 2 power plant, gas power plant, and to support this city, more 2 power plant. I don't know, answer your question or not.
Yeah. How do you do with the infrastructure, especially the fast transit infrastructure? I think now I heard there was the first metro line is there, but I'm wondering how do you get the money to invest in that part? And
light rail transit,
will the private sector
we
do
bargain.
something?
We bargain with them. We bargain with the property. So you could imagine a station. We could develop a 2-story property. So I give them 30 until 50 years to manage this property, and also the sky bridge from the station to their property is connected. They could make this become a sky bridge mall. I also talked to them. So I want to divide each meter square how much you have to develop for me a light rail transit, a train, and we will operate because we could subsidy, use the PSO. So I will put this light rail transit become the same management with the busway to develop a 1 single ticket. And we also want to make an elevated train. This is the central government. This is the common train, Kereta Api. The elevated, they will develop this elevated. So the whole city have elevated. We also developed a 6th toll road. We dedicated one road for the busway. So the bus will go outside, use elevated. We also developed a 3 corridor again. This is elevated for busway. So our bus will go use the toll road, and including the loop line, elevated loop line for the train. That's what we
Are you going to be developing in the next 38 months? What is the step?
Yeah, like a light rail. And next month I will get the study, and we will talk to the businessmen to share who want to develop this, including the busway. We also want to talk to the, it's the seaport. We will deficit 1.5 million TEUs after they already accomplished the new Tanjung Priok. That's why we also plan to develop our own seaport. And we try to make our 2 islands, the north and east side, 2 islands to be an airport. We also want to develop our own airport, because there's not enough airport in Jakarta. 2017 will become deficit in Cengkareng. I just talked, before coming here, I was just meeting with the Lion Air CEO. They want to develop one airport. This is how to say, it's like American have one super huge complex in Banten province, 50 kilometers from Jakarta. We talk about the trend, how to connect it to this area. So we want to many airport to support this city, because 30 million. And they developed in Lebak. And Pak Jokowi, if he was elected as president, he doesn't agree to put a Karawang be an airport, because Karawang is our paddy field, a very fertile paddy field. They don't want to turn. They want to turn Lebak. Lebak is the very very area. So they want to develop this as an airport. They don't agree. But the first president agree. But Jokowi will be the next president. He don't agree to develop an airport in Karawang, because this is a paddy field. That's made a little confusing in the central government. But Jokowi said, I don't want to do that. He make a joke, I now already half president. He said, half president, I could not do that. Yeah, I have to move. Okay.
Tijd om foto. Jullie blijven maar zitten op de plek. En dan komt hij...
Belum ngomong Pak Jokowi. Mungkin nunggu DPRD kan? Nunggu DPRD dilantik.
Oh iya. Kan emang bulan. Hah? Emang bulan ini.
Bulan ini katanya pelantikan, dan habis pelantikan mungkin beliau akan ngajukan mundur diri. Jadi mungkin paripurnanya udah langsung DPRD baru. Nah mungkin sekaligus langsung kan, kalau dia mundur kan langsung saya, mungkin sekalian.
Ada kandidat wakil nggak? Ada kans gitu mendengar kata kusuk di DPR?
Mana ada sih istilah tolak menolak. Pak Harto aja nggak lewat MPR langsung berhenti kok.
Berarti
menyatakan berhenti langsung berhenti kok Pak Harto kok.
Nggak ada halangan ya Pak ya?
Karena udah ada presiden hukum kan. Waktu Pak Harto berhenti gimana? Melalui sidang MPR nggak?
Enggak.
Kan enggak. Langsung aja tuh ada presiden.
Kalau kandidat wakil gimana Pak?
Wakil urusan partai lah. Ya.
Berarti harusnya tuh nggak ada. Jokowi 1, sebenarnya apa sih yang mau Bapak bikin untuk terobosan buat membenahi DKI Jakarta?
Ya ikutin seperti Pak Jokowi aja, semua udah digariskan visi-visi kita kan. Nah kita pengennya apa? Kita pengen semua kawasan kumuh nggak ada, kita ingin bangun banyak sekali rumah susun untuk menampung mereka. Rumah susun yang terintegrasi dengan pasar modern. Nah sehingga PKL bisa bayar harian, itu seperti itu. Lalu kita ingin apa? Pelayanan terpadu satu pintu. Kita ingin masyarakat Jakarta mau urusan apa saja, datang aja ke kantor lurah atau camat. Nanti mereka yang urusin. Nah kita juga pengen ada 40% anak-anak sekolah usia 16-18 tahun yang tidak bisa sekolah, itu kita betul-betul kasih beasiswa sampai dia bisa sekolah. Bukan cuma KJP 270.000, dan pun 800.000 satu anak. Karena kan sekolah sekarang 400.000 bayar iuran, apalagi dia nggak dapat di negeri kan. Nah kita harus bantu untuk menyiapkan mereka 10 tahun ke bonus demografi 2025. Jadi itu kita lakukan. Terus kesehatan tentu kita makin mendekatkan rumah sakit kepada rakyat. Makanya kan RSUD kita akan bangun dari puskesmas, kita naikkan itu di 18 tuh di kecamatan-kecamatan. Sehingga orang itu kalau yang makin nggak punya duit, dia ke tempatnya lebih dekat kan. Nah itu pola-pola itu kita lakukan. Tentu infrastruktur kita harus kejar. Kita harapkan 2016, sebelum saya berakhir 2017, bus-bus ini semua sudah bayarnya rupiah per kilometer. Jadi nggak ada lagi bus yang ngetem. Dan kita juga mencabut subsidi di Jakarta untuk maksa orang naik bus. Seperti itu, tapi busnya murah, bayar tiket bulanan kayak gitu.
Oke, untuk pendamping Pak, kalau kemarin kan Pak Jokowi...
Kalau pendamping terserah partai politik lah, saya nggak mau campur. Saya kerjasama dengan siapapun oke.
Nggak ada kriteria gitu yang Bapak pengen sebenarnya?
Kalau ada artis cantik lebih baik. Tapi kan nggak bisa kan kita pilih, ya sudah.
Pak, Bapak ini kan menjadi satu ikon kebanggaan untuk Tionghoa di Indonesia gitu. Ada nggak sih Pak pesan buat Tionghoa muda yang sebenarnya pengen terjun dan berkontribusi di dunia politik tapi masih ragu-ragu ataupun takut?
Aduh, aku juga kebetulan karena kebetulan Tionghoa dia wakil Tionghoa kan. Sebenarnya bagi siapa saja kok mau Tionghoa non Tionghoa, kalau mau masuk politik ya sederhana aja. Jangan terima korupsi, jangan terima suap, taat sama konstitusi bukan konstituen, dan jangan takut mati kalau kamu mau jadi patriot. Itu aja sebetulnya. Sama aja sih Tionghoa non Tionghoa, sama aja saya kira.
Sedikit nih buat paket buat profil Bapak. Pak, sebenarnya awalnya terjun ke dunia politik tuh didorong oleh siapa sih Pak?
Didorong oleh emosi marah sama oknum pejabat yang korup, yang neken-neken gua, gitu aja.
Terus dari keluarga memang nggak ada dorongan ataupun inspirasi gitu?
Bapak saya yang suruh saya jadi politisi.
Kenapa?
Karena bapak saya bilang, yang paling mulia itu jadi pejabat, bukan pedagang. Pedagang itu nomor 6. Karena jadi pejabat bisa menentukan nasib orang banyak. Kalau kamu jadi pedagang, kamu untung 1 miliar, kamu bantu orang miskin 500.000, hanya 2.000 orang. Bisa kepencet-pencet mati lagi orang, gara-gara itu. Tapi kalau kamu jadi pejabat, kamu bisa bikin semua orang punya penghasilan seperti itu. Jadi ini beda. Makanya yang paling mulia itu jadi pejabat, karena bisa menentukan nasib rakyat banyak, bukan jadi pedagang. Itu bapak saya yang dorong.
Makasih Pak.
Ya, apa?
Tentang urbanisasi ya Pak?
Kan tadi udah ngomong si Sumian.
Yang ini bocor ya?
Oh iya udah, ayo.
Ya pemirsa, setiap tahun ada warga pendatang yang memenuhi ibu kota. Setiap tahun nih warga pendatang Jakarta kan memenuhi Jakarta nih Pak. Nah sebenarnya di Pemda sendiri ada aturan pembatasan jumlah warga pendatang tidak?
Ada. Kita malah buka Jakarta. Karena urbanisasi itu kan meningkatkan pertumbuhan ekonomi sebetulnya. Asal yang datangnya itu orang yang punya keterampilan dan bisa menghasilkan uang. Makanya kami melakukan yang penting tidak ada kawasan kumuh di Jakarta. Kalau kawasan kumuh dihilangkan, yang datang kan pasti numpang sama saudara sama temannya. Kalau udah nggak produktif dipulangin ke kampung. Nah sekarang mahasiswa datang ke Jakarta boleh nggak? Dia mahasiswa begitu dapat uang, dia bisa kerja, dia nyumbang pajak buat kita. Jadi kenapa Jakarta harus tertutup? Yang tidak boleh itu orang datang tinggal di pinggir sungai, buang sampah sembarangan, dudukin. Bukti kita juga promosi habis-habisan untuk datangkan turis. Turis mirip urbanisasi nggak? Mirip kan sebetulnya itu. Kenapa boleh? Dia bawa uang. Jadi seharusnya itu urbanisasi dinilai ada kesempatan meningkatkan pertumbuhan ekonomi asal dikelola dengan baik. Kenapa Jakarta tidak menghasilkan pertumbuhan ekonomi yang baik dengan urbanisasi? Karena ada distorsi ekonomi. Yang pegangnya baik preman-preman, pedagang dibawa dari luar dagang, jualan. Terus ada pabrik-pabrik yang mempekerjakan orang dengan gaji yang murah. Nah kita mau dorong pabrik-pabrik, kita roba aja ke komersial, kamu boleh pinggir ke keluar kota aja. Dia bisa jual tanah lebih mahal. Nah Jakarta lama-lama terdidik, kalau tidak terdidik bagaimana? Ya nggak kerja dong sebagai buruh kasar. Nah kami gimana tanggung Anda? Di setiap kota pasti ada orang miskin, ada orang kurang beruntung, belum beruntung. Nah kita harus membangun banyak pasar rakyat yang bisa dibayar harian, membangun rumah susun yang dibayar juga dengan murah. Karena orang kurang beruntung bisa tinggal di situ gitu loh. Nah kalau dia udah beruntung, dia harus kasih pada kita kembali, kasih yang belum beruntung. Kalau sekarang kan begitu dia beruntung, dia sewain tempat yang lama. Nggak bisa. Nah kami sangat yakin, kalau kita menjadi tempat yang untuk orang yang belum beruntung ini, semacam inkubator, dia begitu beruntung, dia akan geser. Kasih lagi yang belum beruntung. Makanya Jakarta harus menyediakan tempat rumah susun sewa yang tetap milik DKI, pasar raya tetap milik DKI, PKR kita tata di trotoar boleh, di taman boleh, tapi diatur, bantu jaga sampah segala macam. Nah ini akan menolong orang-orang yang belum beruntung untuk mulai lagi dari bawah. Dan Jakarta harus bangun di teknologi ya, supaya produk-produk kreativitas anak-anak muda nggak butuh modal, nggak ada wifi segala macam, teknologi yang cepat, dia bisa kreatif. Nah model-model itu yang akan kita bangun di Jakarta.
Tapi Pak, faktanya nih para pendatang juga banyak yang mempengaruhi tata kota Jakarta, mereka membangun rumah tanpa IMB. Itu solusinya bagaimana Pak?
Itu saya bilang, saya gusur terus. Saya terus gusur, jalan inspeksi sungai, kereta, di bawah kolong tol, jembatan, semua kami gusur. Kami nggak peduli, kami gusur habis. Karena yang datang itu cuma pendatang-pendatang. Yang naik motor sembarang juga itu mau tangkap-tangkapin. Jadi kita nggak usah khawatir pendatang. Jakarta terbuka, ibu kota kok. Kenapa mesti tutup? Semua orang boleh datang. Tapi jangan ngaco pasti gua sikat gitu aja.
Ini masalahnya sudah bertahun-tahun Pak mereka.
Ya, makanya dulu bertahun-tahun saya, Pak Jokowi sama saya belum jadi gubernur, wakil gubernur, itu aja. Sekarang kita rubah.
Soal ini Pak, kan Jakarta ini sebenarnya miliknya orang Betawi Pak. Nah sekarang banyaknya pendatang kadang-kadang semakin membuat warga Betawi.
Orang Betawi juga udah lama, udah pinggir ke Depok, ke Bekasi, Tangerang, nggak apa-apa.
Tapi cara Bapak menghidupkan eksis kembali orang Betawi seperti apa Pak?
Ya kita bantu aja, semua beri kesempatan. Kita nggak bedakan mana Betawi, mana enggak. Setiap warga negara harus mendapatkan keadilan sosial. Kita tidak ingin lagi ada kemiskinan struktural. Kerja 2 juta, 3 juta, anak 2-3 sekolah. Bayar uang sekolah swasta mahal 100.000, mana bisa hidup dia? Maka kita harus bantu. Anda Betawi nggak Betawi pun, itu adalah kewajiban undang-undang dasar. Fakir miskin terlantar di piara negara kok. Selama Anda mau kerja dengan baik, maka kita mau kasih peluang. Ada pasar rakyat, ada rumah susun, semua yang adil. Maka kami bilang kami taat kepada konstitusi, bukan kepada konstituen. Ini jelas.
Terakhir Pak, ini
pembantu rumah tangga nggak apa-apa. Istri saya juga pesan sama pembantu, pulang nanti bawa lagi ya. Hampir semua gitu kan, minta bawa lagi. Istri kita pada bilang bawa lagi ya pembantu ya, kalau ada tambahan ya. Kan ekonomi naik kan, nggak apa-apa. Asal dia dapat yang belum skill diajarin, dia tinggal di dalam rumahnya. Yang repot kerja pabrik menengah, merekrut orang-orang di bawah umur yang belum punya skill, kerja, dilatih nggak apa-apa. Masalahnya dia nggak mampu sewa rumah mahal, sewa di pinggir sungai, itu yang nggak boleh. Makanya saya mau dorong pabrik-pabrik ini keluar. Di mana dorongnya? Dia robah peruntukan dari pabrik, boleh dirubah jadi komersial. Dia jual tanah jadi mahal. Dia bisa dapat uang bangun pabrik. Kan Raya Ganda juga udah mau jadi dari Jawa Timur sampai ke Jakarta. Dia bisa bangun di Jawa Tengah, Jawa Barat, kenapa enggak?
Oke, terima kasih Pak.
Terima kasih, sama-sama.
Ya, itulah jawaban dari Pak Ahok.